The Art of the Stoic Response. Think clearly under pressure. It's a full audiobook. Learn to instantly access a state of crystal clear judgment when everyone else is succumbing to panic. You are one moment away from a different life. The insult that sends you into a rage, the crisis that triggers the panic, the pressure that makes you fold. Right now, your reaction is not a choice. It's a reflex. A flawed emotional losing reflex. This ends now. This book is your tactical manual for seizing that single moment and imposing your will upon it. To not feel less, but to think with brutal clarity. To deliver the Stoic response. This is not philosophy. This is the operating system for unshakable performance. Listen closely. Your old reactions are about to become extinct. Chapter 1. Your worst enemy is already inside you. You're driving home. It's been a long day. Your mind is already on the couch, on shutting the world out. And then it happens. A car swerves in front of you, missing your bumper by inches. Your heart hammers against your ribs. Your hands clench the wheel. A surge of pure white-hot rage floods your system, and you lose it. You lay on the horn. You scream curses they can't even hear. For the next 10 minutes, your pulse is still racing. Your whole evening is ruined. You're telling the story to your partner, reliving the outrage. Can you believe the nerve of that guy? Stop. Let me ask you a question, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. Who ruined your evening? The anonymous driver who was gone in 3 seconds? Or you? I'll give you the answer. It was you. You are the architect of that anger. You are the one who poisoned your own peace. And until you see that, truly see it, you will be a slave to every idiot, every inconvenience, every single event the world throws at you. Your worst enemy isn't out there. He's already inside the car. He's already inside your head. For 2,000 years, a philosophy of iron and clarity has told us one simple, brutal truth. The source of our suffering is not what happens to us. It's our judgment of what happens to us. Let me say that again. The event itself is neutral. It just is. A car cut me off. That's a fact. It's data. But in a split second, you layer a judgment on top of that fact. You turn the data into a story. That was a personal insult. That guy is a total moron who disrespects me. The world is out to get me today. That story you tell yourself? That's the poison. That judgment is the trigger for the rage, the ruined mood, the wasted evening. The event is neutral. Your judgment is the poison. Think about it. A tree falls in the forest. Is it a tragedy? Is it an outrage? No, it's a tree falling. It only becomes a tragedy if it was your favorite tree, if it crushed your car. The meaning, the emotional charge comes from you. From your judgment. Someone criticizes you at work. The words are just vibrations in the air. The data is, he said, your report was incomplete. That's it. That's the neutral event. But you judge it. You tell yourself, he's trying to undermine me. He doesn't respect my work. I'm a fraud. And then the anxiety, the defensiveness, the resentment, it all comes flooding in. Not from his words. From your judgment of his words. Master the judgment. Disarm the world. This is the foundational discipline. This is the first and most important battle you will ever fight. The battle for the space between an event and your reaction. In that space is your power. In that space is your freedom. And right now, for most of you, that space doesn't exist. You are a puppet, and external events are yanking your strings. You think your boss makes you stressed. You think traffic makes you angry? You think your partner makes you jealous? No, they don't. You are making yourself stressed, angry, and jealous by the judgments you attach to these people and events. You have handed them the remote control to your inner world, and you sit there wondering why you're always on the wrong channel. So what's the move? What's the practical, hard-edged tactic? It's not about suppressing the emotion. It's about cutting it off at the source. You must become a watchman at the gates of your own mind. The next time you feel that jolt of anger, that spike of anxiety, I want you to freeze. For just 3 seconds. And in those 3 seconds, I want you to perform a simple act of mental surgery. I want you to dissect the moment. Step 1. Identify the external event. Be ruthlessly factual. A car changed lanes abruptly in front of me. My boss said, "We need to talk later." It is raining. Step 2. Identify your judgment about the event. This is the crucial part. What story are you telling yourself? That driver is an entitled jerk. My boss is going to fire me. This rain is ruining my plans. My whole day is shot. See it? See the layer of interpretation you've added. That's the poison. That is the choice you made. Without even realizing you had a choice. You have a choice. You can choose to see the driver as a reckless fool who personally offended you, or you can choose to see them as a distracted parent rushing to a sick child, or just as a flawed human being making a mistake, no different from the mistakes you've made. You can choose to see the meeting with your boss as a threat, or you can choose to see it as a simple, neutral meeting. The rain can be a disaster, or it can be water falling from the sky, and you will adapt. The event doesn't change. The car still cut you off. The meeting is still happening. The rain is still falling. But your judgment? That you can control. That you can master. Master the judgment. Disarm the world. This isn't positive thinking. This is disciplined thinking. This is taking responsibility for the one thing in this universe you truly own, your mind. The Stoics called this our inner citadel. It's your fortress. And right now, the drawbridge is down, and every barbarian with a bad day is marching right in, setting up camp, and burning the place down. It's time to raise the drawbridge. This is the first discipline. The discipline of perception. It's the bedrock everything else is built on. You must internalize this. Practice it in the tiny moments. The long line, the rude email, the spilled coffee, until it becomes a reflex. You've identified the enemy. It was you all along. But that's the good news. Because if the enemy is inside you, then the solution is there too. You don't need to change the world. You need to change your mind. You've started the war within. Now, let's talk about the weapon you've been taught to fear, but is actually your greatest source of power, the one you give away every day. Chapter 2. Define your inner citadel. The project is dead. It's crashed and burned. The client is furious. The numbers are a disaster, and all eyes in the room are on you, the leader. What do? The average person? They panic. Their face flushes. They start pointing fingers. Marketing dropped the ball. Development was behind schedule. I told you this would happen. They are a storm of blame, of excuses, of raw, undirected fear. Their voice gets higher. Their body language screams defeat. They are adding fuel to the fire. Now watch the other leader, the one who doesn't flinch. Their posture is steady. Their voice is low, calm. They acknowledge the failure without a trace of hysteria. They say, okay, this failed. Let's diagnose why. What can we control right now? Our response. Our analysis. Our next move. They don't blame the storm. They simply start building an ark. What is the difference between these two people? Talent? Intelligence? Luck? No, the difference is architecture. The second leader has built something the first one has not. They have constructed an inner citadel. Last chapter, we identified the enemy, your unchecked judgments. Now we build the defense. We don't just stop the poison from getting in. We build walls so strong that the poison can't even reach the gate. Your inner citadel is your personal fortress of principles. It is not a feeling. It is not a mood. It is a constructed brick-by-brick set of rules you live by. It is your core code. When the world goes crazy, and it will, you don't have to figure out who to be in the chaos. You simply retreat to your citadel and remember who you already decided you would be. Your principles are your armor. Fortify the citadel, and no opinion can breach the walls. Without a citadel, you are a leaf in the wind. A kind word from a friend makes you confident. A criticism from a stranger destroys you. A successful deal makes you feel like a king. A minor setback makes you feel like a fraud. You are constantly, desperately looking for validation from the outside world. You are building your house on sand, and every tide washes it away. This is weakness. This is slavery. You are letting strangers vote on your value every single day. That ends now. It's not about feeling confident. It's about the discipline of principle. You don't feel your way into right action. You act your way into right feeling. The citadel isn't built when the siege begins. It's built in peacetime. It's built right now. So, what are your principles? If I asked you to write down the 5 non-negotiable rules you live by, could you? Most people can't. They're making it up as they go along. They're situational. Their morals are flexible. Their integrity has a price tag. That is a recipe for a life of anxiety and regret. You need a constitution for your mind. What is yours? Is it I control my effort, never the outcome? Is it my word is my bond? Is it I solve problems, I do not complain about them? Is it I grant respect to everyone, but I seek validation from no one? These are your bricks. Write them down. Carve them into your mind. These are not suggestions. These are laws. For you, your principles are your armor. Let's go back to that leader facing failure. Their citadel is built on principles like, I am defined by my response to failure, not by the failure itself. My value is in my problem solving, not in a perfect record. I take responsibility for my sphere and nothing else. When the project fails, they don't have to have an identity crisis. They don't have to panic. They simply consult their internal constitution. The principle says, solve, don't complain. So that's what they do. The principle says, control the effort, not the outcome. So they focus on the analysis, not the blame. The chaos outside cannot penetrate the order within. Someone insults you. Your first weak impulse is to lash out, but you retreat to your citadel. Your principle? I do not accept insults. Only feedback I can use. Or, my peace is too valuable to be stolen by cheap words. The insult hits the wall, and it shatters. It has no power. Fortify the citadel, and no opinion can breach the walls. This is your daily practice. This is the work. Every morning you review your principles. You rehearse them. You ask yourself, if a crisis hits today, what principle will guide me? If I am provoked, what rule will I follow? You are programming your autopilot for stormy weather. When you feel that pull to complain, you stop. You remember your principle? I solve, I do not complain. And you redirect your energy. When you feel the urge to seek approval, you stop. You remember your principle. I seek validation from no one. And you reclaim your power. You are the architect of your character. Every time you choose principle over impulse, you add another foot to the wall. Every time you uphold your code when it's difficult, you reinforce the gate. You have a choice. You can be a slave to external events, blown about by every shift in the wind. Or you can be the sovereign of your own inner kingdom, unshakable, because your foundation is built on the rock of your own chosen discipline. Your principles are your armor. Fortify the citadel, and no opinion can breach the walls. You have laid the foundation. You've identified the enemy within and started building your defenses. But a fortress is useless without a ruler who can command it. It's time to forge the most powerful tool you possess, the one that separates reaction from response. Chapter 3. Stop reading minds and start reading reality. Your colleague walks by your desk. You say good morning. They give a short, clipped nod. Nothing more. They keep walking, and instantly your mind is off to the races. What was that? What did I do? Was it the email I sent yesterday? Are they angry with me? Do they think my work is subpar? They've always been jealous of that project. They're trying to ice me out. Your stomach tightens. Your mood darkens. You spend the next hour distracted, replaying every recent interaction, looking for clues, building a case against them in your head. You have just constructed an entire narrative of conflict and animosity from a single nod. Stop. You are not a psychic. You are a playwright, and you are writing a tragedy starring you as the victim. You are engaged in a devastating energy-siphoning activity, mind reading. And you are terrible at it. It's time to put down the pen. It's time to shut down the fiction factory between your ears. Your life is being hijacked by stories that have no basis in fact. Stick to the facts. Reject the fiction. Your assumptions are your agony. This is the next level of mental discipline. You've learned to question your judgments. Now you must slaughter your assumptions. Specifically, your assumptions about what is going on in someone else's head. The Stoic operates on one simple rule. I can only work with what I can observe. The observable, objective facts. Everything else is a fairy tale. A dangerous, self-destructive fairy tale. Let's dissect the poison. Your colleague gave you curt feedback. The standard weak reaction is to invent a story about their character. He's arrogant. He's trying to undermine me. He has it out for me. That story becomes your reality. You get defensive. You resent him. You start a cold war over a figment of your imagination. Now for the Stoic response, the disciplined response. You look only at the facts. What were the exact words he used? Strip away the tone. Strip away the body language. What was the literal data in the message? The report needs more supporting data in section 3. That is the fact. Your job is not to psychoanalyze him. Your job is to evaluate the data for its utility. Is he right? Does section 3 need more data? If yes, then you have received a gift, a chance to improve your work, delivered by an unlikely messenger. If no, then you can discard it. The origin of the feedback is irrelevant. Its utility is everything. Stick to the facts. Reject the fiction. You are addicted to intention. You are obsessed with the why behind other people's actions. You think knowing their motive gives you control. It doesn't. It gives you a headache. It gives you anxiety. It gives you an enemy where there may be none. The truth is, you have no idea what is going on in their life. That curt colleague might have slept 2 hours because his child was sick. That friend who forgot your call might be drowning in a personal crisis. The driver who cut you off might be having a panic attack, or maybe they're just rude. It doesn't matter. Their internal state is their business. Their internal state is outside your control. It is a foreign country you cannot visit. Stop trying to get a visa. Your assumptions are your agony. You are choosing to feel attacked. You are choosing to feel slighted. You are volunteering for pain. It's not about being naive. It's about the discipline of objectivity. You are not ignoring danger. You are refusing to imagine monsters under the bed. You are a detective, not a novelist. Your only evidence is what you can see and hear. The rest is speculation. And speculation is the fuel of misery. So, what is the practical drill? The next time you feel that familiar twist of anxiety, that social paranoia creeping in, I want you to do this. First, freeze the narrative. Stop the movie in your mind. Second, speak only the facts out loud. The fact is, he used these 12 words in the email. The fact is, she did not reply to my text. The fact is, he walked past me without speaking. That's it. Do not add a single word of interpretation. No which means. No, probably because. Just the raw, unedited footage. Third, ask the utility question. Based solely on these facts, what is the required or smartest action? Usually the answer is none. No action is required. The problem vanishes when you remove the fictional layer you added. You have a choice. You can live in a world of imagined slights and invented conflicts, or you can live in the real world dealing with real problems. One world is a prison of your own making. The other is a field of action where you are actually powerful. You don't need their permission. You don't need them to like you. You don't need to understand their motives to be effective. You only need to command your own perception. This is how you reclaim a massive portion of your mental energy. This is how you achieve a profound level of social calm. You become unoffendable not because you're a saint, but because you are a scientist. You are only interested in the data. Stick to the facts. Reject the fiction. Your assumptions are your agony. You have now fortified your mind against internal judgments and external fiction. You are building a sovereign self, but a sovereign needs a currency. What is the true wealth of a life well lived? It is not what you acquire. It is what you give your attention to. Chapter 4. The pause is your greatest power. The email hits your inbox. The subject line is a warning flare. You open it. It's from a colleague. The tone is dismissive, accusatory. It publicly questions your work on a key project. Your face gets hot. Your fingers fly to the keyboard, poised to type a furious, defensive, justifying reply. You are already composing the sentence that will eviscerate them. Stop. Do not touch the keyboard. You are about to hand over your power. You are about to become a puppet, and that email is pulling the string. You are one click away from making the problem worse. You are trading your long-term respect for a short-term emotional release. There is a space, a tiny, critical sliver of time between the provocation and your response. Right now, that space does not exist for you. The reaction is automatic. It is a reflex. It is weak. That space is where your power lives. That pause is your greatest weapon. Insert the pause. Own the space. Your power is in the delay. You have built your inner citadel. You have sworn to stick to the facts. But without this tool, it's all theoretical. This is where theory meets the road. This is the practical mechanism that puts you in the driver's seat. The Stoic is not a person who never feels anger. The Stoic is a person who has installed a circuit breaker between the feeling and the action. They feel the surge, and then they flip the switch. The pause. In that silence, choice is born. Let's break down the technique. It is simple, but it is not easy. It requires drilling until it becomes your new reflex. The next time a provocation arrives, the harsh email, the insult, the frustrating news, I want you to perform a physical and mental ritual. First, physically disconnect. If you're sitting, stand up. If you're standing, take one step back. Place your hands flat on the desk or at your sides. This breaks the physical momentum of the reaction. Second, take one deep, deliberate breath. In through your nose, filling your lungs. Hold it for a second. Out through your mouth, slowly. This is not meditation. This is a tactical reset. It floods your brain with oxygen and starves the panic response. Third, in that cleared mental space, ask the only question that matters. Does my immediate reaction serve my long-term goal? That's the key. Your long-term goal. Is your goal to feel right? Or is your goal to be effective? Is your goal to win a petty argument? Or is your goal to win the respect of the room? Is your goal to unleash your anger? Or is your goal to maintain your integrity and solve the problem? Insert the pause. Own the space. Look at the email again. Your immediate reaction is to fire back a sarcastic point-by-point rebuttal. It will feel good for about 6 seconds. Then you will have a permanent enemy. You will have shown you are volatile, easily manipulated. You will have lost. Now insert the pause. Breathe. Ask the question. Your long-term goal is to be seen as a competent, unflappable leader. Your long-term goal is to resolve the issue and move the project forward. Does the sarcastic email serve that goal? No, it burns it to the ground. So what does? A reply that says, "Thanks for the feedback. Let's take this offline and discuss the data in section 3 at 3 p.m. That is a response. That is power. That reply comes from a place of choice, not a place of reflex. Your power is in the delay. This is not passive. This is not avoidance. This is the most active and aggressive thing you can do. You are actively seizing control of the moment. You are refusing to be a stimulus response machine. You have a choice. You always have a choice. But you can only exercise that choice if you create the space to see it. Apply this everywhere. Your partner says something that stings. The pause. The breath. The question. Is my goal to hurt them back? Or is my goal to resolve this and strengthen our connection? The angry driver flips you off. The pause. The breath. The question. Is my goal to teach a stranger a lesson? Or is my goal to arrive home safe and with my peace intact? It's not about suppressing emotion. It's about the discipline of pause. The emotion is data. It tells you something is important. But you are not a slave to the data. You are the analyst. You don't need their permission. You don't need to react on their timeline. You operate on your own clock. By pausing, you shatter their ability to control you. You take the remote control back. Drill this. Practice it on the small provocations. The long line at the coffee shop. The slow internet connection. The dropped call. Use these minor events as training. Create the pause. Own the space. Make it muscle memory. So when the big provocation comes, the true test, you don't have to think. You simply execute. Insert the pause. Own the space. Your power is in the delay. You have now assembled the core toolkit, mastered your judgment, built your citadel, rejected fiction, and weaponized the pause. You are no longer a reactor. You are a responder. But response requires direction. What is the North Star that guides all your actions? It is the final, non-negotiable acceptance of a single liberating law. Chapter 5. Amor Fati. Stop resisting and start commanding. You are at the airport. You've been looking forward to this trip for weeks. You're at the gate and you watch the status change. Delayed, then cancelled. The line at the service desk is a mob. Your plans are in ruins. Your vacation, your meeting, your escape, shattered. What is your reaction? You know the script. The sigh of frustration. The complaint to anyone who will listen. This always happens to me. The airline is incompetent. You wear the face of a victim. You waste an hour in anger, then another hour in self-pity. You let the cancellation cancel the rest of your day. You are not just stuck at the airport. You are stuck in a story of misfortune. This is the cost of resistance. This is the weight of fighting reality. There is another way, a harder way, a more powerful way. It's called Amor Fati, the love of fate. This is not passive acceptance. This is not shrugging your shoulders and saying, oh well, that is weakness. Amor Fati is the opposite of weakness. It is the active, aggressive, and total embrace of everything that happens. The good, the bad, the inconvenient, the devastating. You look reality in the eye and you say, you are mine. I will use you, love your fate. Command the obstacle. Every event is raw material for your will. The Stoic does not believe in a perfect, smooth life. That is a fantasy for children. The Stoic believes in a life of purpose, and purpose is forged in friction. The obstacle is not an interruption to your path. The obstacle is the path. It is the very thing that shapes you. Look at the cancelled flight. The standard reaction is to see it as a loss, a negative, a problem. You are fighting what is. You are trying to wish reality back into the shape you wanted. It's a battle you will always lose. The Stoic response is to pivot, instantly. You look at the new reality and you ask the only question that matters. What can I command here? The reality is, I'm at this airport for the next 4 hours. That is the law. It is done. So what can I command? I can command my focus. I can command my time. That report I've been avoiding? I now have a silent, uninterrupted block of time to crush it. Those emails clogging my inbox? I can zero them out. This delay is not a loss. It is a forced focus session. It is a gift of time I would never have given myself. You have transformed the event. You have not just accepted it. You have loved it for the opportunity it contains. You commanded the obstacle. Love your fate. Command the obstacle. This is the ultimate application of your inner citadel. Your principle is no longer just a defense. It is an offensive weapon. The principle is, I will use everything. No exceptions. Your career hits a plateau. Do you complain, or do you love this fate? This is the raw material. The plateau is a signal to acquire a new skill, to build something you own, to network with intention. The comfort is gone. Good. Now you can grow. You face a health challenge. Do you rage at the injustice, or do you love this fate? It is the raw material. It forces you to learn about discipline, about nutrition, about the fragility and resilience of the human body. It makes you wiser, stronger in a way you never wanted, but now desperately need. Every event is raw material for your will. You have a choice. You can see the world as something that happens to you, or you can see it as something that happens for you. For your training, for your development, for your story. It's not about liking what happens. It's about the discipline of use. You don't have to like the cancellation. You don't have to like the diagnosis. But you must use it. You must find the edge within it and sharpen yourself against it. You don't need their permission. You don't need the universe to be fair. You need only your own unwavering decision to extract value from every single moment, no matter how it looks. So what is the drill? How do you practice this? The Amor Fati mantra. When something happens that threatens to trigger your resistance, you say these words to yourself. This is what I need right now. The canceled flight? This is what I need right now. The focused time. The difficult conversation? This is what I need right now. The chance to practice courage and clarity. The failure? This is what I need right now. The lesson that will prevent a greater failure later. You are not wishing for it. You are wielding it. Every event is raw material for your will. This is the final surrender of the victim mindset. It is the ultimate declaration of sovereignty. You are saying to the cosmos, throw anything at me. I will not break. I will bend it to my purpose. I will use your chaos as my fuel. Your fate is not what happens to you. Your fate is how you respond. Your fate is what you build with the bricks the world throws at you. Love the bricks. Love the throwing arm. It is all part of the construction of you. Love your fate. Command the obstacle. Every event is raw material for your will. You have learned to embrace reality, to love your fate, and command every obstacle. But this philosophy is worthless if it stays in your head. It must bleed into your hands. It must become action. It is time to talk about the final step, turning your will into a tangible, undeniable result. Chapter 6. Your body is a dial, not a switch. You're in the hallway, about to walk into the most important meeting of your quarter. Your presentation is ready. Your notes are perfect. But your body is betraying you. Your palms are slick with sweat. Your heart is a jackhammer in your chest. Your breath is shallow, tight, stuck high in your chest. A voice in your head whispers, "You're going to choke," and you believe it. You think this panic is a verdict. You think this physical chaos is a truth teller, confirming your deepest fear. You are not enough for this moment. You are wrong. This feeling is not a verdict. It is a variable. It is not a switch you're stuck with, flipped to panic. It is a dial, and your hands are on the controls. You have just forgotten how to turn it. Your mind and your body are not two separate things. Your body is the instrument your mind plays. Right now, yours is playing a song of terror. It's time to change the tune. It's time to take control of the instrument. Your biology is not your boss. Command the breath, command the mind. You think anxiety starts in your head. It doesn't. It starts in your body. It's a chemical cascade, a primitive circuit designed for running from predators. But there is no predator in that conference room. There is only a challenge, and you cannot run from it. So the energy has nowhere to go. It turns inward and becomes panic. The standard reaction is to try and think your way out of it. You repeat positive affirmations while your body is screaming a different story. It doesn't work. You cannot reason with a hurricane. You have to change the weather. The Stoic response is physical first. You don't beg your mind to calm your body. You command your body to calm your mind. Let's go back to that hallway. The panic is rising. This is the protocol. This is the drill. First, posture. Stop slumping. Stop curling in on yourself. That is the posture of defeat. It tells your nervous system you are losing. Square your shoulders. Pull them back. Lift your chest. Plant your feet firmly on the ground. Stand like a king. Stand like a general. This is not faking it. This is broadcasting a signal of control to your entire brain. Your posture is the first command. Second, breath. Your shallow panting is the fuel for the panic. You are telling your body there is a fire. So, you change the message. You breathe in through your nose, deep into your belly, for a count of 4. You hold that breath for a count of 4. You release it through your mouth, slowly, controlled, for a count of 6. That's the key. The extended exhale. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system. It is the biological brake pedal for stress. You are not just breathing. You are hacking your own nervous system. Command the breath, command the mind. This is not calming down. That is a weak, passive concept. This is an active takeover. You are seizing the controls of your biological instrument. You are turning the dial from panic to focus. You have a choice. You can let your biology dictate your reality, or you can dictate your biology. Apply this everywhere. You get a stressful text. Before your mind spins a story, you take one deliberate, square-shouldered breath. You feel anger in a conversation. Before you speak, you feel your feet on the floor and you extend your exhale. You are inserting a physical pause, a physiological circuit breaker. It's not about feeling calm, it's about the discipline of physiology. You don't wait to feel powerful to stand up straight. You stand up straight and the feeling of power follows. You don't wait to feel calm to breathe deeply. You breathe deeply, and calm becomes the physical consequence. Your biology is not your boss. This is the most direct form of self-command you will ever learn. It is immediate. It is undeniable. While your mind can lie to you, your body cannot. It only responds to command. When you control the breath, you send an irreversible message to the entire system. I am in charge here. Drill this. Practice it when you don't need it. In your car, at your desk. Make the posture and the breath a ritual. Forge the neural pathway so that when the real pressure comes, you don't have to think. Your body knows the drill. It defaults to command, not to chaos. Command the breath, command the mind. You are no longer a passenger in your own body. You are the pilot. You have taken direct control of the most fundamental levers of your state. Sweaty palms, command the breath. Racing heart, command the posture. The voice of doubt? It is drowned out by the physiological signal of control. You don't need their permission to be calm. You don't need the circumstances to be perfect. You need only your own breath and your own posture. That is all. That is everything. Your biology is not your boss. Command the breath. Command the mind. You have taken command of your inner world, your mind, your principles, and now your very biology. But this power is not for hoarding. It is for projecting. It is for action. The final test of your strength is not what you can endure, but what you can build with it. Chapter 7. The world is your training ground, not your audience. You're in a coffee shop. You've been waiting 10 minutes for a simple order. The person behind the counter is moving at a glacial pace. They're chatting. They're ignoring the line. You feel the familiar heat of impatience. You're about to sigh loudly. You're about to make a comment to the person next to you. Can you believe this? You're preparing a little performance of your frustration. You want everyone to know that you are a busy, important person being unjustly delayed. Stop. Who is that performance for? Who is your audience? Strangers you will never see again? Do you think they're impressed by your sigh? Do you think they're awarding you points for your visible annoyance? They don't care, and you are wasting your energy. You are using a real-world moment not to train yourself, but to perform for a crowd that isn't watching. The world is not your audience. It is your training ground. Every single moment of friction, every minor irritation, every moment of pressure. This is not a test of your public image. It is a private training session, a drill, and the only person who needs to see you pass is you. This is a drill. No one is watching. Perform for your own standards. You have been conditioned to seek external validation your entire life. You want the applause. You want the like. You want people to see how smart, how kind, how patient you are. That is a trap. That is giving them the scorecard to your life. The Stoic does not perform. The Stoic trains. The goal is not to be seen as virtuous. The goal is to be virtuous. The strength is in the muscle, not in the mirror. Let's reframe the coffee shop. The slow service is not an insult. It is a gift. It is a live fire exercise for your patience. Your mission is not to get your coffee faster. Your mission is to use this delay to strengthen your inner citadel. Your principle is, I control my reactions. I am not a slave to external timing, so you stand there. You do not sigh. You do not complain. You use the time. You observe your own impatience like a scientist. You feel the urge to perform and you let it pass. You take a deliberate, square-shouldered breath. You command your biology. This is a private victory. A rep for the patience muscle. No one sees it. And that is the entire point. This is a drill. No one is watching. Apply this to everything. The tedious data entry task at work. You could rush through it sloppily just to be done. Or you could see it as a drill for your discipline. Your mission is to execute it with flawless attention to detail, not because your boss will see, but because you will know. You are performing for your own standards. The person who cuts you off in traffic. They are not a villain. They are a training partner. They are giving you a drill for your anger management. Do you take the bait, or do you hold the line? Do you let them hijack your peace, or do you turn the dial down on your reaction and keep your focus? Perform for your own standards. You have a choice. You can live your life as a constant performance, tailoring your reactions to win the approval of a disinterested world. Or you can live your life as a constant training montage, using every scrap of friction to forge an unbreakable inner self. It's not about being nice. It's about the discipline of self-mastery. You are not being calm in the coffee shop to be a good person. You are being calm because you are a person of principle, and your principle demands it. The external effect is irrelevant. The internal development is everything. You don't need their permission. You don't need their applause. You don't need them to even notice your strength. Your validation comes from the silent satisfaction of a drill completed, a rep done with perfect form when no one was looking. This is how you build authentic, unshakable character. Not by posting about your principles online, but by living them in the empty room, in the slow line, in the frustrating commute. This is where the real work is done, in the shadows. Make a list of your daily drills. The cold shower is a drill for resilience. The difficult conversation is a drill for courage. The boring task is a drill for focus. The rude comment is a drill for emotional control. See them not as nuisances, but as opportunities. As gifts. This is a drill. No one is watching. Perform for your own standards. The world will throw countless scenarios at you. See each one not as a problem to be solved for an audience, but as a drill to be executed for your own growth. This shifts you from a passive victim of circumstance to an active athlete in the gym of life. You are no longer waiting for the big moment to prove your strength. You are proving it 100 times a day in the small, silent battles no one else will ever see. That is how you build a fortress of self-respect that no external opinion can ever breach. You have learned to train in private, to build a strength that needs no witness. But this strength is not meant to be kept in a vault. It is a tool, a weapon, and its ultimate purpose is to be deployed in the service of others. It is time to move from self-mastery to service. Chapter 8. Speak less, declare more. You're in a meeting. Your proposal is on the table. A colleague leans forward, a smirk on their face, and says, "This seems a little undercooked. Did you even run the numbers?" The attack is public. The tone is condescending. Your system floods with adrenaline. Your face flushes, and your mouth opens. What comes out is a torrent, a rushed, high-pitched justification. "Well, actually, I did run the numbers. If you just look at page 4, I spent all weekend on this, and the preliminary data from the Q3 report clearly indicates." You're flustered. You're defensive. You are leaking energy with every single word. You have just lost. You lost, not because your proposal was weak. You lost because your response was weak. You handed them the remote control to your emotional state, and you let them change the channel to panic. Most of your speech is not communication. It is emotional leakage. It is the verbal steam shooting from the pressure cooker of your ego. Complaining, justifying, over-explaining, defending. It is noise. It is weakness made audible. It's time to weld the leak shut. It's time to understand that your words are not just sounds. They are actions. They are weapons. And you have been firing them wildly, wasting all your ammunition. Your words are weapons. Conserve your ammunition. Speak to declare, not to explain. The Stoic is not silent. That is a misunderstanding. The Stoic is a master of verbal warfare. They understand that the most powerful person in the room is often the one who speaks the least. But when they do, every word carries the weight of a declaration. Let's replay the meeting. The challenge comes. This seems undercooked. The standard reaction is the flustered monologue, the emotional leakage. The Stoic response begins with the pause. You remember your training. You feel the surge and you insert the space. You take a breath. You command your biology. Your heart is pounding, but you do not let the pound dictate the pace. You look at the person. Your posture is squared. Your face is neutral. You let the silence hang for a moment, letting their weak attack hang in the air. Then you speak. Not a torrent. A single, precise, declarative statement. I see it differently. The numbers are on page 4. They support the strategy. That's it. You stop talking. You have not justified. You have not explained your weekend. You have not defended your intelligence. You have declared your position. You have presented the data. The energy is contained, focused, and directed like a laser. You have not leaked. You have launched. Speak to declare, not to explain. This is a complete reframe of communication. You are not speaking to seek understanding. You are not speaking to beg for approval. You are speaking to state reality as you see it, and to outline the next logical action. Your boss asks for an update on a delayed project. The weak response is a long story full of excuses. Well, the vendor was late, and then Sarah was out sick, and the software update caused all these issues. The Stoic response is a declaration of facts and action. The project is delayed by 1 week. The cause was the vendor delay. The new deadline is Friday. I am handling the follow-up. Facts. Action. No emotional leakage. No excuses. Power. Conserve your ammunition. Every time you complain about the traffic, you are firing a bullet into the air. Every time you explain yourself to someone who doesn't matter, you are emptying your magazine. Every time you gossip, you are sabotaging your own supply lines. You have a choice. You can be a chattering stream, easy to step over, or you can be a deep reservoir, silent, still, and impossibly powerful because of the depth you contain. It's not about being quiet, it's about the discipline of speech. You are not withholding words out of shyness. You are conserving them for impact. You are choosing quality over quantity. Every word must earn its place. Every sentence must have a mission. You don't need their permission. You don't need to explain your reasoning to every critic. You don't need to justify your existence to a stranger. Your worth is not determined by your ability to verbally defend it. Start this today. Go on a verbal diet. First, eliminate complaining. For one whole day, do not complain about anything. Not the weather, not the traffic, not your workload. You will feel the urge. That urge is the leak. Weld it shut. Second, eliminate over-explaining. Before you speak, ask, is this explanation necessary, or is it just my ego seeking validation? If it's the latter, say nothing. Third, practice declaration. State your intentions clearly. I will have that on your desk by noon. State your boundaries simply. That doesn't work for me. State your conclusions firmly. The data leads us here. Your words are weapons. Conserve your ammunition. Speak to declare, not to explain. Your speech is the final expression of your inner citadel. It is the front gate. When it is weak and loose, everything gets in. When it is strong and sealed, you decide what enters and what leaves. You project power not through volume, but through unwavering clarity. You have learned to command your inner world, your body, and now your voice. You have forged the tools of a sovereign self. But a tool unused is a weight in your pocket. Sovereignty is not for contemplation. It is for action. It is time to step into the arena and put it all to the test. Chapter 9. View from the mountain, the market crashes. The investment you made, a bet on your future, evaporates. The number on the screen is a punch to your gut. Your breath catches. Your mind spirals. This is a disaster. I'm ruined. Everything I worked for is gone. This is the end. Stop. You are in the trenches. You are so close to the problem that it's all you can see. The dirt, the noise, the immediate impact. You have lost all perspective. You are a soldier in a foxhole, convinced the entire war is being lost in this single muddy crater. It's time to get out of the trench. It's time to climb the mountain. There is a mental drill, a cognitive weapon, that can vaporize anxiety and restore clarity in seconds. The Stoics called it the view from above. It is the ultimate tool for perspective. It is the art of pulling back the camera, far back, until your catastrophe is revealed in its true, insignificant scale. Zoom out. See the scale. Your crisis is a speck. Right now, you are the main character in your own movie. Every problem feels like the climax. Every setback feels like the final act. This is an illusion. It is a trick your ego plays to feel important. The view from above shatters this illusion. It reminds you that you are not the center of the universe. You are a brief, brilliant flicker in an unimaginably vast cosmos. And that is not a depressing thought. It is the most liberating thought you will ever have. Let's apply the drill to the financial loss. You feel the panic rising. This is the moment. You close your eyes. You do not fight the feeling. You begin the ascent. First, see yourself in the room. Look down at the top of your own head, staring at the screen. See the small, tense figure in the chair. Now pull back. Mentally rise through the ceiling. See your building from above. See the other people in their own apartments, with their own triumphs and tragedies. Your problem is now one of thousands in this single structure. Keep going. See your entire city from the air. The sprawling network of streets and lives. Millions of people. Millions of stories. Your building is a single pixel in this vast image. Pull back further. See your country, a shape on a globe. Then see the planet itself. A beautiful blue and white marble hanging in the blackness of space. Now hold that image. The entire Earth. On that planet, in one of its cities, in one building, in one room, sits a person looking at a number on a screen. Their heart pounding. Zoom out. See the scale. In this vast scale, is that number truly a catastrophe? Is it the end of your world? Or is it an event? A single data point in the long, complex graph of your life? The perspective is instant. The tension in your shoulders loosens. The panic loses its edge. It doesn't mean the problem isn't real. It means it has been returned to its proper size. It is manageable. It is a problem to be solved, not a fate to be endured. Your crisis is a speck. Apply this everywhere. The humiliating mistake at work. Zoom out. In 1 year, will anyone remember? In 5 years, will you? In the context of your entire career, is this one event the defining moment? Or is it a single lesson in a long journey? The painful argument with a loved one. Zoom out. See the entire history of your relationship. The thousands of moments of connection, laughter, and support. Is this single conflict the entire story? Or is it a single stormy chapter in a long and valuable book? You have a choice. You can live your life at ground level, where every pebble looks like a boulder. Or you can learn to climb the mountain whenever you need to see the entire path and understand that the boulder is just a pebble on a long road. It's not about avoiding emotion. It's about the discipline of perspective. You are not dismissing your problems. You are contextualizing them. You are refusing to grant a minor event a major role. You are the director of your mind, and you are choosing the wide shot over the claustrophobic close-up. This is your secret weapon against anxiety. Anxiety cannot survive this perspective. It feeds on magnification. It dies under the gaze of the cosmos. Practice this daily, not just in crises. Practice when you're stuck in traffic. Zoom out. See the river of metal you're a part of. See the city breathing. See the planet turning. Your delay is meaningless. Your peace is everything. Practice when you're feeling vain or self-important. Zoom out. See the billions of lives being lived with the same intensity as yours. It is humbling. It is calming. Zoom out. See the scale. Your crisis is a speck. You are not your problem. You are the consciousness that can observe the problem from a distance. That is your power. The mountain is always there for you to climb. The view is always waiting to set you free. You have mastered the final internal skill, the power of perspective. You can now see your life with the clarity of a strategist, not the myopia of a victim. But this view from the mountain reveals one final, undeniable truth. You are not on that mountain to hide. You are there to see the entire battlefield. It is time to descend. It is time to engage. It is time to put every single tool you have forged to its ultimate purpose. Chapter 10. The Unbreakable Daily Ritual. You have the tools. You have the theory. You understand the enemy is within, the power of the pause, the view from the mountain. But right now, it's all just theory. It's a set of ideas you agree with, and when the real pressure hits, when the real crisis comes, you will default to your old programming. You will forget the citadel. You will forget the pause. You will be back in the trench, reacting, leaking, failing. Why? Because knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power. And application requires repetition. It requires ritual. Stoic clarity is not a philosophy you think about. It is a physiology you inhabit. It is a set of neural pathways you carve so deep that they become the default path for your thoughts. This doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. It happens through a non-negotiable, unbreakable daily ritual. Discipline is destiny. Ritualize the response. Make clarity your habit. You already have rituals. You check your phone the second you wake up. That is a ritual. It trains your brain for distraction and reactivity. You scroll through social media before bed. That is a ritual. It trains your brain for comparison and anxiety. You are already practicing. You're just practicing the wrong things. You are drilling weakness. It's time to replace those rituals with ones that forge strength. I am going to give you 2. 1 for the morning, 1 for the evening. They take 5 minutes total. They are the bedrock upon which your new character will be built. The morning ritual. Programming for the battle. This is not about positive affirmations. This is about psychological inoculation. You are preparing for the day's chaos by exposing yourself to it in a controlled environment first. Find 5 minutes of quiet. Before you touch your phone. Before you engage with the world. First 60 seconds. Negative visualization. Close your eyes. Ask what could go wrong today. Be specific. The project could get cancelled. You could receive harsh criticism. You could get stuck in terrible traffic. Actually feel the frustration, the anger, the disappointment. Do not avoid it. Lean into it. Why? You are preloading the stoic response. When that event happens, it is no longer a surprise. You have already lived it. You have already felt the sting and practiced your comeback. You disarm future events by rehearsing them. Second 60. Seconds define your inner citadel. Ask, what are my principles today? No matter what happens, who will I be? Declare it. My role is to solve, not to complain. I control my effort, not the outcome. My peace is not for sale. You are loading your mental armor. You are stating your law. Third 60 seconds. Amor fati. Declare it to yourself. I will love whatever today brings. Every obstacle, every irritation, every success. It is all fuel. It is all my training. You are setting the frame for the entire day. You are switching from a mindset of resistance to a mindset of command. Ritualize the response. This 3-minute drill primes your entire system. You are no longer entering the day as a passive target. You are a prepared warrior, expecting challenges and armed with a code. The evening ritual. The unflinching review. The day is over. The battle is done. This is not time for self-congratulation or self-flagellation. It is time for analysis. You are the coach reviewing the game tape. No emotion, just data. Find 5 minutes of quiet. Before you numb yourself with screens, ask 3 questions and write down the answers. Pen and paper. It makes it real. 1. Where did I act with strength? Where did I use the pause? Where did I stick to the facts? Where did I command my biology? Acknowledge the win. This reinforces the correct neural pathway. 2. Where did I fail? Where did I leak emotion? Where did I seek validation? Where did I lose my temper? Be brutally honest. Do not judge yourself for this. You are a scientist identifying a faulty experiment. The data shows I reacted defensively at 2:15 p.m. That's it. 3. What is the correction? Based on the failure, what is the specific drill for tomorrow? Tomorrow, when I feel defensive, I will take 1 breath and state a fact instead of justifying. You are not just identifying the problem. You are programming the solution. Make clarity your habit. This review is not about guilt. It is about growth. You are sanding down the rough edges of your character every single night. You have a choice. You can let your days happen to you, and your reactions be determined by ancient, weak programming. Or you can take 5 minutes in the morning and 5 at night to deliberately rewire your brain, to install a new operating system. It's not about having time. It's about the discipline of priority. You have time for what you prioritize. You have time for your phone. You have time for your anxiety. Now claim 5 minutes for your sovereignty. Discipline is destiny. Ritualize the response. Make clarity your habit. This is the final piece. The keystone. Without this daily practice, everything you've learned will fade. It will become a memory of a book you once heard, not the living code you live by. With this practice, you are no longer a student of Stoicism. You are a practitioner. You are living the philosophy with every breath, every decision, every reviewed day. You have the map. You have the tools. You now have the daily drill to master them. The theory is over. The training is complete. There is only one thing left to discuss. What is this all for? What is the point of this unbreakable character you have forged? Conclusion: the Stoics' purpose. The moment of pressure is here. The insult, the crisis, the chaos, it is waiting for you. And now you have the tool. You know the enemy is not out there. It's the judgment inside your own mind. You have an inner citadel to retreat to. You have the power of the pause. You have the command to love your fate, to use the obstacle itself as fuel. You have the physiological controls to turn down the panic. You see the world as your private training ground. You speak with declaration, not reaction. You have the view from the mountain to see the true scale of any problem. And you have the unbreakable daily ritual to forge this into your character. This is not knowledge. This is a weapon. And the world is about to test you. So here is your final command. Do not simply listen to this and feel inspired. Go out and be tested. Seek the pressure. Welcome the provocation. And in that single decisive moment, execute the Stoic response. The choice is now yours. Prove it.